Okay, so have you ever heard of anything like this? I was in this story. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
You've got this guy, Daniel Carter, totally average guy, right?
Right.
Gets accused of robbing a bank.
Mm-hmm.
And at first, it seems like an open and shut case.
Oh, yeah.
The cops have video of the robbery.
Yeah.
They even have audio recordings, GPS data, putting it right there at the scene.
Oh, wow.
But get this.
Yeah.
Daniel wasn't even close to the bank when it happened.
So where was he?
Turns out he was at home,
Okay.
miles away, eating pizza,
What?
binge-watching cat videos, the usual.
I mean, that sounds like a pretty solid alibi, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the evidence, it was also convincing.
So then how?
Well, that's the crazy part.
Yeah.
Daniel was framed, and get this, he was framed by AI.
AI. So you're saying this wasn't like I don't know,
Right.
like a bunch of guys in ski masks?
No, this is next level.
Wow.
We're talking deepfakes and some seriously sophisticated AI tricks.
I get fakes.
You know like those videos where someone's face is like plastered onto someone else's body?
Right, right. Yeah, usually for laughs. I've seen those, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But in Daniel's case, it was weaponized.
Weaponized. Oh, this is serious stuff then.
Oh yeah, this goes way beyond like a prank video or something.
So these people, they didn't just want to embarrass him. Sounds
Yeah.
like they wanted to ruin his life
They were out to destroy him, absolutely.
by using AI to create fake evidence.
To create incredibly convincing but totally fabricated evidence, yeah.
That's scary.
They had security footage with his face on it,
Mm,
voice recordings of him supposedly planning the whole thing.
planning the robbery.
Yeah, even his GPS data putting him at the bank during the robbery.
Oh my God.
All fake.
That's insane. So walk me through this.
Yeah.
How does AI twist reality like that? I mean, it sounds like something out of a movie.
It does, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's break it down.
Okay.
First, you've got the deepfake video.
Yeah.
Imagine like a really good digital artist. They study thousands of your pictures,
Mm-hmm.
and then they paint a portrait that's perfect.
Yeah.
Except it's not actually you.
I see.
That's basically what this AI does.
So it analyzes tons of images of the target, Daniel in this case, and whoever they want to like swap him with,
Right.
and then creates this composite video.
A composite that is nearly impossible to tell from the real thing.
It's like a digital doppelganger.
Exactly.
But they also faked his voice. I mean, how
yeah.
how is that even possible?
That's where AI voice cloning comes in.
AI voice clone. Okay, now that's just
It's crazy, right? This technology is advancing at an alarming rate.
So they just feed the AI like snippets of your voice
Mhm.
from wherever they can find them.
From social media, phone calls,
Yeah.
anything.
And it learns to mimic.
Everything. Your speech patterns, your intonation, even your breathing.
It can do that. That's freaky.
It's like they built this digital puppet of Daniel.
A puppet that they could control and make him look and sound like he was robbing a bank.
Exactly. And to complete the frame job,
Yeah.
they manipulated his location data.
Oh, so like messing with his digital footprints.
Exactly. But think of it like someone who's trying to alter your digital footprints, but they're leaving traces behind,
Okay.
like a sloppy forger.
Okay.
There are ways to hack into GPS systems or even fake cell tower signals.
Making it seem like your phone was somewhere it wasn't.
That's unsettling
It is. And for Daniel, it must have been terrifying.
to be up against this.
Like, how do you even start to prove you're innocent when the evidence seems so perfect?
I mean, it's like fighting a ghost.
It is. You're fighting something that's not even real.
But you're saying it can be disproven digitally.
That's the thing. The prosecution's case relied on this fabricated digital evidence,
Right.
which means it could be disproven digitally.
And that's where the AI forensics expert comes in.
AI forensics. So like digital detectives who can...
They can spot those deepfakes,
Wow.
expose the AI tricks, yeah. And they're becoming more critical as this tech spreads, right?
Oh, absolutely. In Daniel's case, the expert went over everything with a fine-tooth comb.
Really?
Video, audio, location data, looking for those tiny little inconsistencies.
Clues that would give away the deepfake.
Exactly. The things that the human eye and ear might miss.
Okay, but what kind of clues are we talking about here? Because to me, it all seems so real.
Oh, for instance, in the video, they found these tiny pixel inconsistencies around Daniel's face.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like a digital fingerprint left behind by the AI and the audio.
Yeah.
It had these unnatural speech patterns, little pauses and inflections that were off, suggesting it was a generated voice.
Oh, wow.
And remember those sloppy forger mistakes?
With the location data.
Yeah, there were timestamp mismatches.
Oh, so that proves someone had tampered with it.
Exactly.
So it's this constant battle then
Yeah.
between the AI that creates these fakes and the AI that can detect them.
It's like a game of cat and mouse.
So who's winning?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
I guess it is.
It's a constant arms race.
Yeah.
The tech for making deepfakes keeps evolving.
Yeah.
So the methods for spotting them have to keep pace.
Right.
But AI forensics is still pretty new.
Yeah.
So it's definitely playing catch up.
And what does that mean for us out here in the real world? Could any of us fall victim to this kind of AI deception?
Yeah. That's the thing, right? It's like this unsettling reality we're all facing now.
Yeah, it's like we can't just say, oh, seeing is believing anymore. Like, that just doesn't cut it.
Not at all. And you might think, oh, this is a problem for, celebrities or politicians or whoever, but anyone can be targeted with this.
It's true. And think about it, like all of our photos, videos, our voices online. I mean, it's all out there.
It is. It's a goldmine for anyone who's looking to create a copy of you digitally.
Right. And that doesn't even touch on things like location data, right? All our financial transactions, our browsing history.
Oh, yeah. It is a lot to take in. And all that data, that's what they use to create these digital replicas of you.
Yeah. And even though most people can't create these high-tech deepfakes yet, it feels like all the ingredients are already out there.
They are. And as AI technology gets easier to use, more accessible, the potential for misuse, it's going to skyrocket.
So it's like we're walking around with this target on our backs then.
Kinda, yeah.
Okay, so what can we do? How do we protect ourselves? I mean, it feels kind of hopeless.
It's not hopeless, but awareness is key. Like just understanding that this is real.
Yeah.
And it's being used for malicious purposes. That's huge.
Yeah.
And then we got to be skeptical about what we see online, especially if it's, seems too good to be true or whatever.
Right. So it's like we're constantly playing this game of digital hide and seek, trying to figure out what's real and what's manipulated. I mean, how can we even keep up?
Well, I think one thing we can do is, as a society, we need stronger regulations around, the use of this technology, especially when it comes to deepfakes.
Right, like using them without consent.
Yeah, imagine someone makes a video of you doing or saying something you would never do, and then they put it online, that damage.
It's terrifying, and it feels like the Wild West out there right now.
It kind of is, yeah.
Okay, well, what about the tech companies, right? They're the ones building this stuff in the first place. Don't they have a responsibility to...
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And some of them are working on, detection tools and safeguards.
Yeah.
But... It's never ended. Like, as soon as they come up with a new detection method, someone figures out how to get around it.
Right. It's like we're playing whack-a-mole with deepfakes.
Exactly.
Okay, so we can't just react. We have to think ahead.
Yeah.
What's next? What's the next wave of AI manipulation going to look like?
That's the question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to predict the future of AI, but I think it's going to involve even more seamless integration into our lives, making it even harder to tell what's real and what's not.
Okay, and this isn't just about like individuals being harmed, right? Like this could have a huge impact on like our institutions, democracy itself.
It could, yeah.
What happens when we can't even trust what we see and hear, especially when it comes to things like elections, news reporting, that kind of thing?
Absolutely. I mean, think about how these deepfakes could be used to like influence elections, manipulate public opinion, or even like incite violence.
It's like a dystopian novel come to life.
Yeah, and we're already seeing how misinformation spreads online.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine how much worse it'll get with these AI-generated deepfakes that look totally real.
And the legal implications are just mind-boggling.
They are, yeah.
I mean, how can we ensure fair trials if the evidence can be manipulated so easily?
That's the question, right? Like, we can't just throw out all digital evidence.
Right.
But we need reliable ways to know what's real.
So we need to be able to authenticate it.
Exactly. And that's where AI forensics is essential.
But you said earlier that AI forensics is playing catch-up.
It is.
So how do we equip those digital detectives with the tools that they need to stay ahead?
Well, research and development is critical.
Okay.
We need to be investing in those tools and techniques that let us debunk these forgeries.
Before they cause real harm.
Exactly. Like it's like we're training athletes for a race we don't even know the rules to yet.
So what would you say to our listeners who are, trying to make sense of all of this?
Yeah.
How should they approach evaluating digital evidence in this crazy new world where we can't just trust our eyes anymore?
That's a great question. And I think first and foremost, just be skeptical.
Okay.
Don't take anything at face value, especially if it seems, sensational or tries to play on your emotions.
But fact check everything, basically, right?
Yeah, essentially. But how do you even do that when these fakes are getting so good?
It's true. It can feel overwhelming.
It can, but there are steps you can take.
Okay.
Like pay attention to the source. Is it a reputable news outlet?
Okay.
Is it a trusted individual? Or is it just some random account?
All right, so do your homework.
Yeah.
Don't spread anything unless you're sure it's legit.
Exactly.
What else?
Train your eye to spot inconsistencies. Does the video or audio seem off?
Yeah.
Are there glitches? If something feels wrong, it probably is.
Trust your gut.
Exactly. Trust your gut.
I like that it's like our internal BS detector.
That's a good way to put it.
And what if you're still unsure? Where do you go for help?
Well, don't hesitate to consult with experts.
Okay.
There are resources online and organizations that are dedicated to combating this stuff.
Okay, so be vigilant, be informed, be proactive.
Yeah.
It's like a full-time job just navigating the digital world these days.
It kind of is.
But where does all of this leave us in terms of our understanding of truth? I mean, if we can't trust what we see and hear anymore,
right?
What does that mean for our society? For our relationships, for our sense of reality?
That is the question, right? And it's not an easy one to answer.
It's not.
But I think it begins with recognizing the power of critical thinking.
Yeah.
Questioning assumptions, talking to each other. Like, we need to have these conversations.
Right. This isn't just a technology problem. It's a human problem.
It is.
So it requires human solutions.
Absolutely. And as AI evolves, our understanding of it needs to keep pace. We need to stay mindful and engaged.
This conversation has definitely given me a lot to think about, and I have a feeling it's far from over.
It's not. This is just the beginning.
We've only scratched the surface here.
Of a very complex issue, yeah.
So where do we even go from here? I mean, if AI can create these fake realities that seem so real, how are we supposed to know what's true anymore?
I know. It's a lot to wrap your head around, and it can feel pretty overwhelming.
It really can, yeah.
But I don't think it's all doom and gloom, We've faced challenges to truth and authenticity throughout history. The printing press, radio, television, the internet.
Right.
Each new technology has come with this potential for manipulation.
Yeah, but those technologies also brought a lot of good, right? I mean, incredible progress.
Absolutely.
Positive changes.
Right. So maybe AI is just another tool that we need to learn to use responsibly.
I like that. So it's not about like rejecting technology.
Oh.
It's about using it wisely and holding on to our ability to, reason and make judgments.
Absolutely. We need to embrace AI's potential, but also recognize its limits.
Yeah.
And remember, technology is only one part of the equation. Human judgment, ethics, a commitment to truth, those are just as important.
If not more important.
Exactly.
I like that perspective. It's not like humans versus AI.
Right.
It's about working together.
It is a collaboration. We need to work together to create a future where technology empowers us, not controls us.
But I think education plays a huge role in this, right? Like, we need to teach people about these technologies.
Absolutely. How they work, how they can be misused. The more informed we are, the better equipped we'll be to protect ourselves.
So knowledge is power, right? In this case, it might be the key to like safeguarding truth and trust in this digital world.
I think you're right. And this conversation needs to happen everywhere.
Everywhere, yeah.
In our homes, our schools, our governments.
Yeah, the stakes are high.
They are, but I'm optimistic that we can rise to the challenge.
Me too. It feels daunting for sure, but it's also kind of exciting.
It is.
We're living through a technological revolution unlike anything we've ever seen.
That's true.
And there are definitely risks, but also incredible potential for positive change.
Think about how AI could be used to improve healthcare, education, environmental sustainability.
Yeah, pretty amazing.
The possibilities are endless.
They are, but we need to be careful.
Yes, we have to approach it with enthusiasm, but also caution.
Right.
Always asking those tough questions about the ethical implications.
Well said. And on that note, I want to leave you with one final thought to ponder. If we can't always trust digital evidence, if our senses can be tricked so easily, what does that say about the very nature of truth?
Oh, that's a big one.
It is. Like, is truth objective and unchanging?
Right.
Or is it more fluid and subjective than we like to believe?
That is a question that, philosophers have debated for centuries.
I know.
But in this age of AI, I think it takes on a whole new urgency.
It does. We need to re-examine our assumptions about truth.
Yeah.
about evidence, about reality itself.
Absolutely, it's a challenge.
It is, but it's also a chance to have a deeper, more meaningful conversation.
I agree.
About who we are, what we believe, and how we want to shape the future.
Exactly. And who knows, maybe by exploring AI and all of its implications, we'll arrive at a, more nuanced understanding of truth.
A more human understanding of truth.
Exactly.
You've given us a lot to think about today.
It's been my pleasure.
And I'm sure we'll be talking about all of this more as AI continues to evolve.
I think we will.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
Thank you for having me.